And it comes a time when we women don't have to lie about our age, we brag about it. Amen. We really brag about that. Well, let me tell you about some of the things that's going on. We have 3 ladies there. One of them's 86, one's 84, and one's 82. So the older one, she said, I'm going upstairs to take a bath. She gets up there and she goes, Sisters! Sisters! I need help! And they said, well, what's the matter? And she said, am I getting in the tub or am I getting out? So the second one, she said, well, I'll just go over and help her. You know how she is. She gets halfway up the stairs and she hollers, Sister! I need help! He said, well, what's the matter? He said, am I going upstairs or am I coming downstairs? So the 82-year-old, she said, boy, I'm glad I'm not senile like they are. I can still remember things. I'm going to knock on wood. So here they both are. Sister! Where are you? Aren't you coming up here? She said, as soon as I open the door. And one thing about being a senior citizen's bad, though. My mama taught me to respect people. Isn't that good?
Well, I'll try to.
Okay.
And you look what you did to my house.
I want to tell you what, when you get our age, there's not too many elders left to respect.
Who is us?
Elders. You respect the elders. And there's not too many of them left. I used to just have to remember this, huh?
I see one over there.
Where?
The old whisper guy.
Yes.
He tries to be Wisconsin the way he looks.
Oh, so, do you know his name?
That's what I hear.
Yes, he sure is. How in the world do you ever find that young wife?
Money.
Oh. You mean there's still hope in me?
There's hope. Anybody out here?
No, nobody volunteers. So I don't know what I'm going to do now. Because I was expecting to have a lot of handsome, good-looking men. I see one couple sitting in the back, don't look too bad.
Which one you talking about?
Well, the ones on the back seat, but I can't tell them like other wives might come along.
Well, I ain't gonna say that.
Well, I'm not either. But you hear about Uncle Jesse went down I-65 and he was going north on the South Lane. And his wife, she calls him, she said, Darling, I just heard on the radio somebody's going down to I-65 on the wrong side. She said, honey, you ain't going to believe this, but I've met about 100 of them going the wrong way. Okay. Well, you know, we think sometimes the person that senior citizens, they don't have a lot of company, like some of them. But I found out they do.
Who's that?
Who has them? Well, in the morning they get up and willpower has them up.
Well, that old Will, he ran for me.
Then he went to bed to go see John.
I'll see John.
And after they get through there, they eat breakfast, and Charlie horse comes along, takes them out for a walk.
Oh, my goodness.
And after they get back and they settle down, arthritis comes back.
Oh,
And then arthritis boys are bad. He's the worst one in the bunch. He just goes from joint to joint. He's a swinger. But at the end of the day, they're really tired, and they go to bed with Bengay. Yeah, I heard about that. Okay, we have some special things for the kids. The first little one is, this little boy went to church with his daddy. And he said, they started the collection plate, and he said, don't you play with me, Daddy, I'm only 5 years old. What do you think about that?
well, got to start somewhere.
And then Daddy said, now y'all be quiet in church. He said, why do I have to be quiet? So you won't wake up the people. That's the reason why you wake up the people. Well, you know how little boys like to brag about their daddies?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my daddy's better than your daddy. My daddy with your daddy. So they're out there in the schoolroom and they're just bragging like everything. First little boy, he says, well, my daddy scribbles a few words on a piece of paper and he calls it a poem, and they paid him $50. And the next one said, oh, that's nothing. My daddy scribbles a few words on a piece of paper and he calls it a song, and he gets $100. The third little boy said, nah, my daddy scribbles words on a piece of paper and calls it a sermon. And it takes 8 men to go get this money. Huh?
Oh,
associated with your church. So the first little boy comes out and he says, I'm a Muslim, and here's my prayer book. Next one comes out and says, I'm Jewish, and here is my Star of David. The little girl comes stripping out and she says, I'm Catholic, and here's my rosary. The last little girl comes out and says, I'm Southern Baptist, and here's my casserole dish. Well, I said I've always picked on preachers, but have you heard about that E-Town policeman?
Oh, I can tell you that.
Well, he didn't do anything, but he got accused of it.
What did he do?
Well, brother was going down the road about 40 miles an hour, and here comes this E-Town policeman with his siren on.
Oh.
And brother just kept speeding up, and he kept speeding up. And he didn't catch him until he got to the end of the road, and he said, man, what are you doing? He said, well, a couple of weeks ago, this policeman ran off with my wife, and I was afraid it was him bringing her back. Oh, I tell you, things really exciting.
Bring her home.
Well, I was just thinking, I don't want to hurt your feelings. Can I ask you a personal question? Did you start out as a tadpole? Oh, you sure heard what they give you, miracle bread. Well, can I ask you one more personal question? Do you have pretty broad legs? Well, I'll tell you another one about little kids, what they say. They went to a wedding. These two little cousins went to this wedding. They hadn't been to a wedding before. So after it got over with, they got to talk about it. And one little boy said, well, how many times can you get married? The other one said 16. He said, what makes you think it's 16? He says, it's for better, for worse, for richer, and for poorer. Just add them up. That's 16 times you can get married. Well, we're going to start on preaching, man. It's about that time. But first, let's start on the church bulletin. There was the other day, the church bulletin, they said, we're going to have choir practice Thursday night. All of you come. They need all the help they get. And that's not nice. Okay. What did you hear about Mrs. Jones is singing? She's saying, I shall not pass this way again. Oh, everybody was so delighted, they just kept clapping and clapping and clapping.
Oh!
And then the preacher and the water director, he's here. They didn't get along. They had some problems, you know. And the preacher says, well, I'm going to resign in 2 weeks. The water director said, join me in singing, oh, why not tonight?
Hey! Remember that, preacher? Oh, why not tonight?
Okay, I'll tell you a couple more things that happened. But those at church, like I told you, that's about all the entertainment we had. And poor old Julie, she died. She was 92. She was 92 and she died.
What happened to you?
She just died. She just turned her toes up and died. But anyway, she'd never been married. We didn't want to call her an old lady, so we just said she was a flower in the garden that had never been picked. So she had a beautiful funeral. I mean, that preacher, he was eloquent. He was really good. And had all kinds of flowers. And when time come for strawberries, it was all women. And somebody said to her sister, said, why does she want all women? She said, they won't take me out when I'm alive. They're going to take me out when I die. You like that? But I'm glad you like that one. Because I wrote something down, I can't read it. Then you hear about the mule.
What happened to you?
Well, Tom come in. That just happens to be our preacher too. Brother Tom comes in Monday morning and there's a mule out on the front lawn. And I mean, that mule is dead. He is dead. And he thinks, what in the world am I going to do? And he said, I'll just call animal control, let them come and bury it. So he calls them and they said, well, I'm sorry, but you have to call the mayor first. He has to okay it. Well, the preacher says, I got to pray about this because he's really, hard to get along with, Chris, you know, that. So he called him and he said, Mayor, we have a dead mule in our churchyard. We want the animal control to come and get it. And the mayor, being sweet self, he said, aren't you the preacher? And the preacher said, yeah. He said, well, it's your job to bury it, people. He said, you just bury it yourself. And he said, well, I guess it is, but I always like to know the guy's next kin first. You don't like that one?
Oh, that's good, Betty, that's good.
Okay, I think I just got one more, if I can remember it.
You tell me.
All of y'all country people, we're country people, I'm country too. But this preacher preaching on Sunday morning, and these 3 squirrels was up in the belfry. You know how squirrels make all that? Every time that he started preaching, they started that. So the deacons, they were kind of hard, and they didn't want to kill the squirrels. So they said, we'll just put them in a cage and take them into the woods. So they did that, it didn't work. Next Sunday, here they come back again. How did they go? Good squirrel. And so they just put them in a cage until we were taking them all the way across the woods. So they did. You know what happened the third Sunday? They came right back. And they said, well, we really don't want to kill them. We'll just baptize them and make them members. So they baptized those squirrels, and now they only see them Christmas and Easter. That's all they ever said. They never said it any other time. Don't you think that's good? Okay. Well, I just got a little bit more. I got to get back and around the switch. They might miss me. They might like to miss me, too, but they like to miss me. Well, I tell you, I like to go to have fun. Once in a while, I get a little bit serious trying to be. You can dance people by the church we grew up in. Our church, we had the ladies did a lot of praying and all. And when they get through, they'd say, well, pray for me when all goes well. And Dr. Rambo and Jimmy Davis wrote a song, and I'm going to try to sing all of it. I'm just going to sing a little of it, which is my prayer. You want to hear me sing?
Not sure, yeah.
You sure?
Oh, yeah.
You gonna direct me?
Hey, boy.
Okay.
Let's go.
Pray for me when things go well. Remember this man. Forgot the words.
Pray for
Me when things go well. Remember the Lord. Pray for me. Pray for me when things go well. And you know of no other just for trouble. Bring me